Good day, my name is Mikna, and I'm here to present HooCh, which stands for HooCh Chat. Now, our application was developed by my team, composed of, next slide please, composed of Andrei, Diana, Radu, myself, and Mihai. Next slide. Now, what our application does is it provides easy communication between people found in their close proximity. Next slide. Now, this application, what it aims to do is bridge the communication between people found in the same location. It does this by determining a user's location, and with a predefined range, it finds other users in his proximity. When the other users have the first user in their range, that's when the communication between the two users is enabled. Now, we will run a small live demo of the application. Here I have a phone where the application is installed, and I just need to get it running. I'm inputting my username right now, and there we go. So we have the main channel. You can see top left. We have two channels, main and Startup Weekend Cluj. We enter Startup Weekend Cluj, and I'm gonna write online one person. I'm entering the channel online two persons, and hello. Okay, HSLO. And hello. All right, that's it for that. Back to the presentation, please. Oh, my friend's also writing a message. So we see that the application works. Right, back to the application now. Spreading the word about this application. We do this by a few methods. QR codes in the key locations. We start from Cluj. We put some QR codes in the key locations in Cluj, enabling people, strangers, to talk together. We implement public channels in diverse locations, maybe clubs, maybe universities. We aim for students, because Cluj-Napoca has 60,000 students. We have 3 large campuses. Each campus has about 5,000 students. That's a total of 13,000 students living in our campuses. All they have to do is simply be there to talk to each other. We made a short survey today. We had about 20, 30 answers. We came up with yes and no, 50 answers. This was how it looked at 4 o'clock. After that, at 5 o'clock, we had 85% saying yes. Okay? Now, I've talked about public channel communication. This communication is done by having a channel and having a range of the channel. Now, in this range, in the channel's range, all users that are found can centralize their discussions to one point. Now let's look at some situations. Where would you use this? First, we have social gatherings. Let's say you're in a club. Everything's loud, or your friends left, you want to talk to someone. You just look at the application and see, hey, anyone want to grab a beer? Maybe someone else is lonely. Maybe they're looking for someone to talk to. Now, other applications have already done this. So what's different here? What's different is that we implemented plus and minuses for messages. Hey, look, this guy has a lot of pluses. Maybe I want to grab a beer with him. Or if you don't like someone, you can just ignore him. Next, emergency communications. Let's say you're in a disaster area. You don't know what to do in the room. You don't know if to sit in the room or go out. Maybe you can ask someone else. Is it safe? Hey, I'm still here. I'm still alive. Could you come help me? Tourist spots. You're on a place. You're in Asia. You don't know anything around you. You don't know what that store is selling. You go on, and you see an ad by that store. The ad is translated by detecting your own language. And it says, hey, we have shawarma here. Last, dorms and flats. Maybe you're in a dorm, maybe you're in your apartment, the light goes out. You want to ask, what happened? Does anyone know in this whole dormitory of 1,000 people what happened here? Now revenue, how would we get revenue? We get revenue by ads. Firstly, after we get some people, of course, get ads, localizing the ads, whatever, and on public channels. What we thought is this: have businesses put their public channels for 1 year. In 2014, anyone can make public channels for free. Then, you gotta pay. Thank you. Be sure to check our link, it's cool. This is our landing page. Do you have any questions?
So like the most obvious question is like when I am in a certain location, so people, and I want to maybe I'm old school, but I just walk up to them and talk, without an application. So why would I squeeze an application between me and the surrounding people just in order to talk to them? That's number one. And number two, the same thing applies with the previous thing. Like, everybody will want to talk to the hot blonde in the room. Nobody will want to talk to me. So in other words, a hot blonde, she doesn't need the application because everybody already wants to talk to her, and me, no application will help me, because nobody wants to talk to me.
I was once in a club and I was looking around to see who it is. I was kind of lonely. And I saw in one corner that the hot blonde was also lonely. No one had the guts to go and talk to her. Maybe you go on this application and you find out that everyone's interesting around you. Not just by their looks, but by what they're saying. Maybe they're saying something actually cool. And you go and talk to them not by how they look, but what they're on the inside. And also then... And also, what was your first question? Why not simply talk to someone, right? Well, we were using hashtags here, right, to centralize our discussions. But not everyone knew what those hashtags were. That's one situation. Of course, optimally, it would be that you go and talk to someone. This is made for the situation when you can't just go and talk to someone because maybe there's a wall between you. Maybe he's in the next room. Maybe you're each in a room and saying you're bored. Or maybe it's just too loud to go and talk to some random stranger. And you just ask all the random strangers, would anyone like to talk to me?
So how do you define the location? What's the dorm room is widespread, and my apartment block is very limited. It's like 10 square meters and it's vertical. So how do I know that I don't talk to apartments in like 1 kilometer away? Or how you define groups?
Firstly, you select your range. You define it by choice. So you can have a smaller range, like 50 meters or 10 meters, talk to just the ones in the current area, or you can have a range of like 100 meters to talk to the ones in your flat.
So you suppose that you have the location on the campus, and even if you are somewhere inside, you have the GPS position.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope it's no pictures and no names there, or are they?
I have one more thing to say. Maybe you really should think about if you want to do this, because we went out last night.
Sorry.
But I want to tell a nice story. Who wants to know what it is?
Can you have a special announcement for that? We have an issue outside with the parking, so I would like the owner of the car with the numbers Cluj 18 BLV to go to take the car because you are blocking the space. Please, Cluj 18 BLV. An owner for this car. Thank you. So let's greet the